Let's start with an easy question. How many of you have a smartphone? And what do you think your smartphone gives you more than the one you had 10 years before? The answer is sociability, or if you want to spell it better, social ability. Personally, I was always been a fan of Snake. And this phone at that time has been a real must-have, not only for this game, but mainly for the user-friendly interface. It has been a real revolution. But every revolution brings an evolution. And everybody knows how the story went. In fact, we bet that nobody has still this phone in his pocket. Is it true? What Charles Darwin wanted to leave us with this study is the fact that only who renews survives. So why don't starting doing it? Let's admit it, everybody has a prosthesis in his hand, even if it's not yet recognized. It's your smartphone. We want to demonstrate apps are the last step of Darwin's concept of evolution. In fact, we have no more just one life, but two. The one we live day by day, and the other one live into the apps, browsing, posting, pinning, sharing, tweeting, and so on. Therefore, to demonstrate it, we share together an incredible adventure. Well, an app venture. Sorry. We have to come back. Some slide. Okay. In the last few years, we realized we're commonly using single apps for day-by-day activities like buy a new pair of shoes or rent a car or check the timetable for the cinema. And we became aware of it. In the meantime, we became aware of the fact that most of our friends use Facebook just because they get bored or just because they get embarrassed in a situation of normal social relationship. And given this bad behavior, do you think the risk is to become like that? Many people warn us not to forget the human side of life, despite on standing all the time with us on the screen. Maybe they could be right, but we don't agree with them. We must not forget people come first, always. It's us with the right to choose what the best, what the worst, what the more useful. So, an idea comes to our mind. Why not doing something nobody has really done before? Reaching a goal, traveling from Milan to Lisbon, only using our network and all the apps in our smartphone. Taking advantage of all the available services like car sharing, house sharing, public transportation apps, open Wi-Fi source, and so on. This idea seemed as so original, we initially thought we could have been sponsored. But apparently nobody believes in our project. No. Well, they are not today on this stage. So guess what? We decided to go. No organization, no planning. Only 6 rules. Never open any browser for online research. Only use apps. No more than 2 days of early bookings. Always find a roof to sleep under. €80 as a daily budget to do everything, from traveling to sleeping, eating, enjoying everything. A live social diary to communicate with, of course, and the main goal, to reach Lisbon starting from Milan in 8 days maximum. Okay, we had an idea, we had the tools, and we had the rules. But the hardest has yet to come. Nicola, how is a typical day in an apps venture's life?
Well, at the beginning, it was a table. a tablet, a bottle of wine, and a heap of questions. Where should we go?
Heading west?
Okay, but where?
Paris.
Paris maybe is too far.
Marseille?
Marseille? Yeah, it could be. But how?
Let's take a flight.
It will be fully booked for sure.
By car?
Expensive?
A train?
A train. But it's already 2 p.m. Well, this was it for around 3 hours. Maybe wine has not been a good idea. Then, our first discovery has been that without a plan, with powerful tools, our beloved apps, you can do everything you want. But, first of all, you must do the most important one, to choose. So every single day in our app venture started with a good coffee and at least a choice. And during the trip, we also got experienced on doing it. The first day, after hours spent on looking for the perfect combination between price and distance and not finding it, we were still in our kitchen. So anxiety is not at all a good companion for a project like this. So we just chosen the last second solution, an incredible and extra cheap car sharing from Milan to Turin. So first day, 100 kilometers out to 2,000 kilometers remaining. What an achievement. But on the other end, the last trip was even too easy. Woke up in Madrid, Wi-Fi, coffee, found with an app. 3 minutes, and then we got a car sharing from Valladolid to Lisbon, 700 kilometers. Then 2 minutes more, and on the National Spanish Train Company app, we bought 3 extra cheap tickets from Madrid to Valladolid. Well, it seemed we were born to do it. Then, the second step in an adventurous day is the trip itself. We spent around 70% of our time moving from one place to another one, so no flight, too expensive, you remember the daily budget, a lot of cars and a lot of trains. And this means a lot of time for thinking, reading, sleeping, dreaming, planning, whatever. But the most important is talking to people. And this is the important aspect of the matter. Our rules oblige us to choose the last second solution. And most of the time, the car sharing saved us. We met several people that were willing to share, not videos, not pics, not music, but real life. It was astonishing to us to discover that even if the first aim of car sharing is to spare money, everybody, yes, everybody, uses it as a way to communicate, to discover new experience, to share thoughts, expectation, plans, dreams, as you know them since childhood. For instance, we met Walter. Walter is a car driver, also a dreamer, with an obscure past, a brother in jail, a family that doesn't speak with him anymore. We didn't know why. Then, with a new wife, 25 years younger than him, yeah, and with a bright smile on his face. We also met Carla and Aurore, 2 French girls heading Spain for holiday, that even if they didn't speak any single word in English, they drank wine, they smoked weed for the entire trip, 7 hours. And they were so curious, and they do their most to understand what we were doing there in detail. We also met Carlo and Filippo. It's not working. Okay, Carlo and Filippo, 2 buskers, artists, musicians, clowns, actors, well, whatever, what else? Totally anxious because they were heading touring for maybe the most important interview of their life with a very famous American director. So, after planning and traveling, the third important step in our adventure day is discover a new city. First of all, where to sleep. We were quite skilled on choosing apartments, booking hostels, finding B&Bs and whatever, but even with these soft skills, we risked to fail. After our drop-off in Barcelona, we discovered that we were completely out of money. So, what to do? Exceed our daily budget, or maybe sleep under the stars. In both cases, we would fail our challenge. So, last chance, and heartfelt call to arms to all our contacts on socials in order to find a place to stay. The result has been amazing. 30 minutes with a couple of beers to mitigate the anxiety. And then we received around 5 reposts, retweets, replies with people willing to host us. So we also had the chance to choose. And we chose a girl. Well, guess why? So, She was a friend of a friend, waiting for us in 30 minutes. So with the last money in our pocket, we rented a car. We bought 2 extra cheap bottles of wine in a Pakistan market, found with an app, and then we go. So we met Marichelle, our wonderful host, waiting for us in her stunning 2-floor villa with swimming pool in the Barcelona surroundings. Now think about it. She was up to going out for dinner. She waited for us, she welcomed us, and then after 5 minutes, she left the key of the entire mansion to us. 3 completely unknown Italian guy. So this is real trust. Anyway, we didn't spend more than 1 night in each city, so not so much tourism, yeah, but a lot of nightlife. There's plenty of apps telling you what to do, where to go, how to dress, where to eat, where to drink, and whatever. You could get lost, and we got lost. So again, our contacts on social saved us and gave us support. In Madrid, last trip, crowning moment. We met some old friends from Italy that we didn't even know that they were living there. Some other Italian friends connected us to some Spanish friends. So, in an hour, with a tablet, we built up a multilingual party team. Now, we won't go in details of what happened that night, because lo que pasa en Madrid se queda en Madrid.
Well, world is changing, and we, lazy most of the time, don't see this change. Or if we see it, we have not the will to embrace it how we deserve, with courage. We are convincing ourselves this is the risk of modern age. Laziness that induces us to open Facebook just to pass the time, or everybody who believes that everything is easier with the help of technology. But what does it mean, this term, everything? The only things who make the difference is to understand what we want, where to go, always. In the past, when the Chinese Empire designed the compass, they give us the possibility to address our journey, but only with a clear and explained destination. The same thing is happening right now with our smartphone. Maybe it's not a coincidence. There is an app reproducing perfectly a compass. And turning back to the past, this app would be fundamental. But in the meantime, it would be completely useless without a precise goal to reach. So, nowadays, there are more than 2 billion of apps, and an infinite amount of desire could be granted. There is an app for any aim. And it's very difficult to orient ourselves in this choice. But, as we said, the only things to really make the difference is to know what we want, is to find our north. And if we will do it, we will find in our device a facilitator, a guide that will help us to reach everything we want it, every time we want it. But above all, we will find a lot of people, a lot of friends that, just like us, are curious and willing to help us, to support us. This is the true spirit of sharing, a linked and connected world that helps all of us to enhance our life.
And that's why we call our trip In Friends We Trust.
Thank you very much, Stefano.